You know, they say the lion is the king of the jungle, but have you ever seen a lion trying to do his taxes? Not so king-like, is he? That's right, our feline friends might reign supreme in the wild. But when it comes to the everyday hustle and bustle of human life, they'd be as lost as a meerkat in a meadow. That's part of the charm of Disney's The Lion King. It takes the simplicity of the animal kingdom and infuses it with the complexity of human emotions and dilemmas. The result? An unforgettable journey that has captured the hearts of millions around the globe. From the sun-kissed savannas to the shadowy elephant graveyards, The Lion King offers a vibrant world that's as diverse and dynamic as our own. And at its heart is a story that resonates with all of us, regardless of age or background. But enough about tax-dodging lions. Let's dive into the world of Pride Rock and its eccentric inhabitants. So, the movie starts with this grand musical number, The Circle of Life, which, let's be honest, is just a fancy way of saying, hey, we all die eventually. It's a bit like announcing, hey, guess what? Life's a roller coaster and you're not strapped in. Now imagine you're a zebra, just chilling out on the plains, munching grass, when suddenly you're part of the biggest flash mob in the animal kingdom. You've got elephants trumpeting, giraffes doing the limbo, and hippos splashing about like they're in a synchronized swimming competition. And all this is happening at sunrise, so you know no one had their morning coffee yet. Then there's Rafiki, the wise old baboon, who's basically the animal kingdom's version of a rock star. He saunters in, waves his stick around, and all the animals go wild. He's got this exotic fruit which he cracks open and smears on Simba's forehead. I mean, talk about your first spa day. And then there's Mufasa and Sarabai, the proud parents. Mufasa, the majestic king who's probably thinking, yep, that's my boy. And Sarabai, the queen, who's probably wondering why Rafiki didn't use a less messy fruit. But let's not forget the star of the show, Simba, the little cub who's blissfully unaware of this huge party thrown in his honor. He's just there looking adorable and clueless, a bit like us on our first day at school. And the climax of it all? Rafiki lifts Simba up high, presenting him to the crowd, and every animal bows down. It's like a royal version of show and tell, only with a baby lion instead of a pet hamster. And then, bam, Simba, our future king, is born, and not everyone is happy, especially his uncle Scar, who probably just wanted to sleep in that day. Fast forward through some family drama, and baby Simba is now a young adult, living with a warthog and a meerkat who have a very relaxed view on personal hygiene. Now let's take a moment to appreciate the sheer absurdity of this situation. A lion, the king of the jungle, bunking with a warthog and a meerkat in what can only be described as the animal kingdom's version of a bachelor pad. And let's not forget, our future king has now traded in his carnivorous diet for a daily buffet of bugs. Yes, bugs. But not just any bugs. We're talking about juicy, slimy, crunchy bugs. A smorgasbord of six-legged delights that Timon and Pumbaa, his new friends, have introduced him to. And surprisingly, Simba doesn't seem to mind. In fact, he appears to love it. Who would have thought? Meanwhile, Timon and Pumbaa are imparting their unique philosophy on life to Simba, Hakuna Matata. It's a wonderful phrase, isn't it? It means no worries for the rest of your days. It's a problem-free philosophy, a mantra that they live by. And it seems to be rubbing off on Simba, who's taken to this laid-back lifestyle like a fish to water. In between all the bug eating, the trio engage in all sorts of shenanigans. There's singing, there's dancing, there's, well, more bug eating. It's a wild, carefree existence filled with laughter and devoid of any responsibilities. And for a while, it seems like Simba is content. But is he really? Can a lion truly be happy living a life that's so different from what he was born to lead? Contrast this with the dark, foreboding atmosphere of Pride Rock, where Scar is ruling with an iron paw. The once thriving kingdom is now a desolate wasteland, its inhabitants living in fear. The contrast couldn't be starker. So, while Simba's out there living the bug-eating, no-worries lifestyle, things back home are not going so well. But like any good vacation, Simba's carefree life comes to an end when his past catches up with him. And by past, I mean his ex-girlfriend, Nala. Simba, our once cubby protagonist, now a full-grown lion sporting a rather impressive mane, finds himself face-to-face with Nala, his childhood playmate. What seems like a joyous reunion quickly takes a turn for the serious when Nala, ever the realist, reminds Simba of his responsibilities back at Pride Rock. You see, dear listeners, Pride Rock has been transformed into the set of a reality TV show, aptly titled Scar's Bachelor Pad. Scar, our antagonist with an overdone British accent, has been ruling with an iron paw. The once lush and vibrant kingdom is now a barren wasteland, reminiscent of a post-apocalyptic scene from a dystopian novel. Nala, with her persuasive powers, convinces Simba to confront Scar and reclaim his rightful place as king. And so, our lion hero, with newfound courage and a sense of purpose, returns to Pride Rock. The stage is set for a confrontation that would put any soap opera to shame. As Simba confronts Scar, the air is thick with tension. Accusations fly, secrets are revealed, and there's plenty of dramatic paw-pointing. It's like watching an episode of Real Housewives of the Savannah, but with more fur and less Botox. Simba, in a twist of events, forces Scar to confess his crimes. The hyenas, the same ones who were Scar's minions, turn against him. It's a classic case of reality TV betrayal. Remember, folks, in the wild, loyalty can be as fleeting as a gazelle when a lion's on the prowl. So, after a dramatic showdown, Simba takes his rightful place as king, Scar gets a taste of his own medicine, and everyone lives happily ever after, until the sequel. So what have we learned from The Lion King? Well, for starters, if your uncle has a scar and a British accent, you might want to keep an eye on him. Let's take a moment to rewind and revisit some of the funniest moments and lessons from this iconic Disney movie. The Lion King, a story filled with laughter, tears, and an abundance of bugs, has a way of tickling our funny bones while teaching us some valuable life lessons. Remember when Simba was just a cub and he thought being king meant doing whatever he wanted? Oh, the naivety of youth. This is a gentle reminder to all of us that with great power comes great responsibility. And no, it doesn't mean you get to boss everyone around. And who could forget the dynamic duo, Timon and Pumbaa? These two brought us the philosophy of Hakuna Matata, a wonderful phrase that means no worries. It's a motto to live by, although I wouldn't recommend adopting their diet of bugs and grubs. That's a dietary choice that's best left to the meerkats and warthogs of the world. Speaking of Timon and Pumbaa, remember their dramatic reenactment of the moment Simba's mane began to grow in? The hilarity of their shock and surprise when they realized their little cub friend was growing up was priceless. It's a perfect illustration that even in the animal kingdom, the awkwardness of puberty spares no one. Then, there's the scene where Zazu, the king's advisor, gets trapped inside a gourd by the young Simba and Nala. His desperate attempts to maintain his dignity while stuck in a vegetable are both hilarious and a little sad. It's a reminder to us all that even in the most embarrassing of situations, it's important to keep our heads held high, or in Zazu's case, as high as you can when you're stuck in a gourd. And of course, we can't forget about Scar, the villain we all love to hate. With his sarcastic wit and dramatic flair, he provided us with some of the most memorable lines in the movie. His sly and cunning nature, coupled with his dry humor, made him one of the most entertaining characters to watch. But let's not forget the real star of the show, Rafiki. The wise old baboon with his cryptic wisdom and eccentric behavior provided some of the biggest laughs in the movie. His timeless quote, "The past can hurt, but the way I see it, you can either run from it or learn from it," is as profound as it is humorous. And there you have it, folks. The Lion King. A tale of family drama, bug eating, and questionable advice from meerkats. Remember, it's all just part of the circle of life, or should I say the circle of laughs.